back to Max Chats. My name is Anthea. Today I'm joined with.
Anna.
I'm Dylan.
Thanks, guys, so much for coming. I really appreciate it. So today the podcast we're gonna be talking about is has music been on the downfall since the early 2000s? So yeah, is that a hot take? Do you guys think, or do you think it was like, oh, fair enough?
So you can go first.
Sure. I was thinking about this on the way here, and I think yes and no. Like, music has changed so much in terms of like what kind of rap music comes out, and but also so many artists have been around for so long.
Mhm.
Like early 2000s, like Christina Aguilera still making music, Lady Gaga still making music, Taylor Swift still making music, and they're still relevant. So I guess to an extent, they either manage to form them or shape themselves as we evolve with the music, or the music has stayed the same.
Yeah, fair enough. How about you, Dylan? What do you
I
think?
On one hand, I didn't know Christina Aguilera is still making music, but on the other hand, I also kind of agree. There's yes, it's kind of on a downfall because I feel like the culture right now is we're doing too many samples these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last night I went to this live comedy show by Noel Miller, and the song that they played.
Oh my god, yeah, he's here. Sorry, just remembered. Sorry,
You
continue.
into him? You into him?
No,
Okay.
I.
No, but like I went there and they were playing "Anxiety" by Doechii. I Doechii might be cool. I don't listen to her, but why sample an already good song? I mean, the song itself, somebody that I used to know, they sampled someone
Yeah.
else before, yes, but it's like that thing. There's this meme back then where someone made a Spotify playlist of 6 songs. 5 of them were Pressure by Queen, and one of them was Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. And people had to like figure out which song they got when they played on shuffle because they sounded so similar at the beginning, like the first 20 seconds similar. Same thing with Doechii's Anxiety
Wait.
and somebody that I used to know.
How does Vanilla Ice start again?
Uh,
Sorry, like I really was like, wait, what's this
it was
song?
like ding 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 ding.
Oh,
ding,
okay,
ding,
yeah, okay,
ding.
fair enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do
that's
sound
so true.
eerily
Yeah.
similar.
Either
Yeah,
you
that's
hear
true.
pressure and then stop, and then it just
Yeah.
goes on to rap. Ah, God.
That is actually so true, and it's kind of annoying because it makes creativity like less
Hmm.
popular nowadays. Like no one's being creative; you just sample what's already been done. Or same with movies, like they remake things again. Like
Yeah, just sequels and reboots and
Yeah.
it's just lazy. Honestly, no originality these days. The Snow White reboot, nah, mid. No.
Fair enough. So I think we can establish that like it's a double sided coin, that's for sure. Like there
Mm.
are its pros and its cons.
Mm.
That being said,
Mm.
music from the early 2000s, do you think it can ever be replicated? Because like in my head, I think such a big reason why I still love the early 2000s music, even though I'm born like the mid 2000s, I think it's just the nostalgia factor of it.
Mm.
Like I don't know why, but music doesn't like hit the same. Like wow, controversial take, I guess, but like no, it doesn't feel as enjoyable as it did in the past. You guys know what I mean?
No, I get it. I get it.
yeah, like pop queens.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Like the pop queens are like living their life, and I'm like, obviously, yeah, good for you guys. But it gets a little boring. Like I don't know. I think for example, like with Ariana Grande, which she released her new like deluxe album now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love her music. I think she has some great songs. But I do think it's kind of gotten bland. Like there hasn't been anything fun. Like I think Yes and was the most like controversial thing she's done because it's just so out of her like realm, and yet it was still the same thing she's produced before.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
Also, people are like a new song comes out that they aim to be the new pop like biggest hit, and everyone starts hating on it that this is the music they play in Zara and H&M and
Mhm.
like in just fast fashion stores, and it's just background music and not really the music that you put on and you're like jamming to it.
Mm.
Hot take though, I think like the H&M and Zara store music is like not that bad. Like
Yeah, people go in there with Shazam and then just like, hey,
Yeah,
house
exactly.
music. Just
No. like sometimes when they put the house music on, I'm like, wait, this kind of hits. Like I kind of need this on my playlist, and then I'll remember that I'm in Zara, and I'm like, let me put my phone away. Like this is not the time. Okay, so talking about like music now, like we were talking about Kanye off camera. Sorry guys, you missed that conversation. But like for example, like with rap or with like pop girls stuff like that. Like, what do you think about it has changed? Like, what in the music has changed? Because obviously, like there has been a shift, and like, do you guys know about the whole like recession pop
Recession.
thing? So basically, there's this like theory that every time we go into like an economic recession, like the world, the music gets really good. Like the music, that's why like the early 2000s when we were in economic recession, they were like that was the best time we've had music, but it's also like, yeah, but we also were in a recession. Like, let's look at the two sides. So what do you guys think? Like, do you think that's a valid claim or?
I mean, maybe the recession caused like a bit of a spur of inspiration to like get people going, you know, bring
Yeah.
art back to music, and it just, yeah. What do you think?
I honestly never made that connection.
No, that's like, I saw on TikTok. I was like, wait, maybe this is true, and I was like, okay, I need to get off my phone. Like, I need to stop believing everything I see on the internet.
I was
TikTok.
thinking though, like music, the reason why it maybe sounds different is because it no longer is just music. It also has to come with a presence and it's social media presence or like a celebrity status, and they have to have like a very good PR reputation and things like that. So if their reputation is bad, then people also don't listen to their music, even if it's good. For example, with Kanye, like
yeah.
people are starting to boycott him because of the things he says online. So I guess it's no longer just about music, but also about their personality because we know so much about them. Whereas early 2000s, we didn't really know the person. We just heard it on the radio or the CD and we thought, wow, that's great.
So kind of like separating the art from the artist.
Yeah.
Like that's not what. Yeah. No, I completely agree. Do you think that's the same or not?
Yeah, no, that's true. I don't think it's possible anymore to like kind of put the ideology behind the guy away from the songs. It's just they're too loud these days. Their opinions. We should get less of them from musicians.
So true. Okay, so to kind of understand where you guys not come from, sorry. Like words are not wording today. To understand like what your background is in music. What would you guys say you grew up on? Like when you guys are younger. Obviously, the three of us are not from Australia, so like the music probably will be very different from each of us, but like what would you say like some like iconic hits that you remember from when you were a kid that you're like, yeah, like this is music, you know? And you can pull up your phone if you guys need to. Like, honestly, it's fair enough because I could not remember them off my head.
Wow. I'm struggling. I'm
You're blanking, right? Yeah.
Honestly, I grew up listening to mixtapes and like just tapes my mom and dad pulled up and made to like play in the car. Those are mostly the songs I listen to. Like, I think my favorite song from my past has to be Lemon Tree by Fool's Garden.
Oh, Lemon Tree,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, I remember it came up on the radio, and it's one of the many songs in that like era that my family like loves.
I've never heard the song in my life.
What? I wonder how, I wonder why. Yesterday you told me about the blue sky.
Nope, lost me there. Sorry.
Mid again.
No, literally.
I don't know. I guess for me, like Beyonce, Destiny's Child,
Okay,
Britney.
wait. Sorry to interrupt you. Just maybe so we have an understanding. Could I ask you guys how old you are? Like what year you were born? That way we could potentially understand. Like maybe because this happens a lot on the podcast where someone will say something and I'm always like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
30. Nah, 21.
21. Okay.
I'm 19, 2006.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm 2005. How do you know the song and I don't?
What song?
Lemon Tree.
Oh,
Sorry, that really I was like,
because it's a good song, and you just
I've never heard this song in my life. I don't know. I think I was very much like a radio. Like my family was a radio people. Like we didn't really start listening. Like we had CDs. Oh my, like now that's what I call 98. Like
Yes.
that's what my family listened to.
me too.
And it was like you used to go into like one of the music stores you'd have in the like mall, and then you would buy like the CDs, and it was like mom collected like 70 of those. Like we had so many, but then like
I know we had
CD
the CD player CD holders in the car, and we would like flip through it, and it was all like, that's what I call 2010. That's what I call pop. That's what I call jazz. I don't know, and we would just put it on in the car.
Same. I had that too. It was just so weird to have like a black book under the glove box, and you just oh, even weirder if they have it like on the what's that thing? Like the mirror on top.
Yeah, in the like the not rear view, but like the one that you pull down when you're like driving to see, and you can slide open. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I have it there too.
But it's like such a nostalgic feeling. I feel like because then I like keep the music that I listened to back with like those ones like directly correlated to my childhood. Like whenever I listen to music now that's like from the 2000s, I'm always like, wait, like this is a banger. Like I was like it's like 10-year-old me was really hitting it, huh? And I was like, wow, like great. But I don't know. I feel like I can't do that anymore. I think maybe it's like the whole like digitification of everything has like kind of shifted it.
Yeah.
Like bring back CDs, but also
I mean CDs and vinyls are like for aesthetics now.
Yeah.
Like people collect vinyls because it's become like cool to have a record player and stuff, which I agree. Like I love records and stuff. They've become so expensive and stuff. And back in the day, they were just couple of dollars because
Yeah, that's just how you.
that's how you could
music.
listen to music.
I don't. I feel like a lot of people who have vinyls don't have vinyl players. They just keep it as a collection thing.
Yeah, true. That's
Yeah.
true too.
It's just hippie. Nah.
No, but that's the thing. I think it's like the resurgence of like the aesthetic, which has really like shifted everyone into getting
Yeah.
into it.
Mm.
I don't know. I think my thing was I didn't want to buy vinyls because I was like, I don't know how to use a record player. What's the point of me buying this? Like, waste of space, waste of money. But like, then again, I'm also using Spotify, and then I'm like, like
yeah.
you like like the daily rewind stuff or like the Discover Shuffle, whatever. Like you don't get any new songs actually.
Mm. I had the algorithm. We should probably bring that up.
Yeah, no, go for it. Start talking about it if you want.
Just I think last week you guys talked about your movie tastes and
Mhm.
everything. You
Yeah.
guys that little reel I saw from you guys. People don't go into stores anymore, look at the collection of discs and CDs and
Mhm.
like all that stuff, and don't look for stuff that's probably good. It's just recommended to them daily, spoon fed by this thing called the algorithm, just a piece of software. I think that's probably what's ruining our music taste, is just giving these artists a false sense of what's actually good.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also, I
Yeah.
don't know if like, do you guys know if back in the day would
Mm.
you only buy CDs based off what the cover looked like, or could you actually listen to it in the store somehow and then take it home if you actually liked it? Because why would you buy it and then
I think it depends on the store. Like I remember in some stores I used to go to, and like some stores now, like some vinyl stores I've been to now, like record stores, you can take it out. Like when I was back home, you could actually like go into the store, pick up the vinyl you want to try and listen to, put it on. But also I was like, I don't want to break anything, so I have to buy it. But I remember when I was younger, like you could go to like, when you'd go into like one of those like music stores or like the like JB Hi-Fi, but like local versions, and then they would have like the headphones you could sample, and they were like connected to like a CD player, and you had like the tester like CDs that you could use. Like I did that, and I would just stand there because my parents were doing their own thing. I was like, this is great music. Like this is what it's like. But like you can't do that now. Like if you walk into a JB Hi-Fi, they're like, oh yeah, like plug in your phone with this. It's like
or
what?
Bluetooth it?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna connect to some random like headphone in the middle of JB Hi-Fi. Like this is already
Yeah.
overstimulating. I don't need to do this now.
Also, I don't know what it's called. Like, I don't know if it's pirating or like CD mixtaping. You know, like
Yeah, the burning like
burning
yeah.
CDs, and you would make your own mixtapes on it and stuff. Like my mom used to do that all the time, and we would have these random like songs shuffled together with beats and stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what we would listen to sometimes.
And then when you find out that song actually isn't the original, and then you're like, what? It's like, whoa. No, I know it's my family wasn't big into like burning CDs. I don't know whether that's just because my parents couldn't care about it, which I think that's actually it. But we were like, because the radio was the big thing, so we'd always have radio in the house playing it. And there was like like up until the age of like 12, I was like my mom would like put on the radio, and I was like, okay, like it's on now.
Yeah.
Like you would just listen. It would be in the house, like filling the noise and stuff. I don't know.
That's interesting, actually, that back in the day, people would put on the radio as like background noise so that you feel less lonely and things like that. And now we'd rather either put on Spotify, or I sometimes put on a Netflix show in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm not even watching it. It's just so that I don't feel, too quiet in my own house.
So
Yeah, I do that too. But at night, when I'm about to sleep, with YouTube videos by Moist Critical, it's just that's the thing now, isn't it? We just leave things like Netflix shows, YouTube videos, and just on as a distraction.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to the whole like idea of like the attention economy. Like, okay, obviously we're getting a little off topic, but then again, this is my podcast, so I don't care. Do you guys think that like the internet has made our attention span like slower? Because in my opinion, right now, this might be like a hot take or controversial one, but I don't think it's that the internet has made us like lessen our attention span. I think it's that like humans have just become really inept to kind of do our own thing and become very reliant on it, which has made us feel like, because I like obviously I'm addicted to my phone, not because I want to be, just purely because I'm like games, like this is so much fun. But I can recognize that I can like like I've been starting to like pick up reading again, because that was one of the things I really want to do for this year, and like I can see myself like I don't want to be on my phone, and then like the moment I start reading and start like engaging in like the actual world, I'm like, wow, like the sun is out, like I feel like more like smart. I don't know if that's a word, but like
Grounded, maybe?
yeah, like grounded, like present. And I feel like it's the same way that I felt when I was younger, when I would listen to like the radio with my family, or like be in the car listening to the radio, or like CDs. Like it made me feel like I was a person. I'm not just like on my phone doing things. And like I've kind of slowly started to stop having like music play in the background and just deal with the silence, because I feel like confronting the silence is what's made us so scared because of like COVID and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think-
that's very philosophical.
Guys, I think about this a lot. Can you tell? No.
I think maybe it's because back then we're used to delayed gratification, and
Mhm.
right now it's just back then you listen to music on the radio. It's just oh nice, this music that I like comes on. But then now you can just like choose what song you listen to just by pushing a button on your phone, or like
Mhm.
choose what movie you want to watch at that point. Like before, you had to wait for a schedule to like come up. Like oh shit, this movie I want to watch on TV is coming on Friday, 8:30, right? Like
Yeah, like you knew like I had to be sat for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just had to wait. But now you can just like get it whenever you want. You can watch a movie on the train if you want to.
Yeah. And sometimes I see people on the train when they're like reading, like they're watching something or like, you know, engaging with like an anime or something. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is dedication. Or the people who like pull out their laptops to watch it. But, like, I understand if like your train ride's like an hour plus, like fair enough. But I'm also like, if your train ride is from what, like Flinders to Caulfield, like just to come to uni, it's like you can like just sit there and look outside. Like it's really okay.
We
But
Yeah.
don't judge anime watchers, by the way. So they just
hey, you can watch whatever you want. It's more just put your phone down. Like look
Also,
outside.
going back to music.
Yeah.
Um,
As you should. As you should.
People like automatically when they leave the house, they put on their AirPods or they put on headphones or something. And it's weird if you don't listen to something on the train. And I've looked around on the train too that 98% of people have something in their ear, probably
Yeah.
listening to podcast, music, movie, whatever. And I was always the one that doesn't really listen to music on the train, even if it's a long train ride. I've started to now, but I was always told by my friends, like, that's so weird. Like, what are you doing if you're not listening to music? Like,
What were you doing?
I
You
was just sitting.
and
so
what
real.
were you thinking? Just like sitting there.
No, it's just like no thoughts, head empty.
No,
no,
that's so.
Wow.
But sometimes you need that.
yeah.
Like you need to just kind of sit there and like.
disassociate.
Like in high school,
Yeah.
8 hours of school.
Yeah. Okay, fair
Before that, I
enough.
need to just be empty.
No,
like
that's-
no thoughts at
After
all.
high school, I get that. Like after like you're, because I feel like it was so intense as well. Like you just had to like sit in silence. Like it was. I feel like with uni, because we have so much freedom now, like you can choose into come and whatever. Like
Yeah.
then it's like fair enough. Like to sit and by your thoughts, like I just do that at home. Like what's the point? But no, like after high school, like oh my god, yeah, it was bad. Like you just had to sit there and like stare at the wall. You're just like wow, like this was the past 8 hours. No, that's fair. I don't know. I don't know. It's like okay, you guys know like Spotify like recaps or like Apple
Mhm.
recaps and stuff like that. I think that ever since they created that, it's been like a thing that people really want to do, and like I'm guilty of this. It's just like you really just want to listen to more music, you know, and become like cooler listening to music, stuff like that. And like I've like caught myself doing it more. I'm like, okay, like why am I getting into this person? Like, do I actually like their music or do I just want to be cool? And it's like, no, I do like their music and stuff, but I think it's a weird like social like guilt that you have. I don't. Do you guys feel the same? or-
I completely agree.
I mean,
Like,
I make fun of my like Spotify thing. I mean, one thing that shows up is that oh, you played 74. You played the song "Hey Lover" 74 times consecutively, while in December. Why?
No, but that's like, when they call you up and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
like what are we doing that for? And
or
then you
like they
come-
bring up the day, like this day you listen to this song 20,000 times, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, you just brought up memories. I just
yeah,
want
it's
to.
like there's a reason why I listen
Yeah.
to this song. Like, let's keep it like hushed away. No, but okay, it's like what did like because you agree. So like what?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you-
No, I just remember like in high school, people would post their Spotify Wrapped on their stories or even on their main Instagrams and things, and it would just be like. And people would discuss it. It would be the topic of discussion that day. Like, oh
Mhm.
my god, how many minutes do you have? Oh my god, who was your top artist?
yeah.
And if you had, I don't know, less than 60,000 minutes listened to in a year, then it's like, oh, do you even have a phone?
Yeah, like, do you even listen to music? It's like, no, girl, I do. I just play games. Like, don't worry. No, I don't. That's the thing. Like, I think up until like last year, I only really hit like 25,000 like minutes a year, and it's like, okay, that is still a lot of days and like stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
think it's
decent.
just like. For me with music, it's like I don't like listening to music if I'm at home because it's like I can just watch something, and I find that like I like to engage with like docu-series or like with like video essays because I think that actually helps me. Like I'm not like an audio person. Like I need to watch something because if I just listen, I'm like, oh, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. Like this means
Yeah.
nothing to
Like
me.
you have like a second monitor or something, or do you just listen to the video?
I'll like it's like I'll be like on like my sofa or something or like my computer and something will like the video will play so I can watch it and I can hear it. But then I'll play a game on my phone. That being said, I might have like undiagnosed like ADHD or like something. So that this is very much like I'm become like a screenager. Like I've developed a baby like phone face because of it. Like
What is phone face?
it's
I don't
have
know.
you ever heard
What-
of this?
I
No,
don't
so
know.
phone face. So you have like iPad face and like phone face. Like, do you know like Victorian? Okay, so basically,
Oh, like iPhone face.
yeah, iPhone face. So it's like
Yeah.
your face looks like you haven't like you use your iPhone a lot. Like
Oh, Jesus.
it's like
Like you couldn't play in a period play. Or
yeah,
period
like period
piece.
piece. So, like
Yeah.
you know, like Lily Rose. Did you guys watch not
Nosferatu?
Nosferatu.
I didn't watch it. I didn't want to.
That's so fair. But do you know Lily Rose Depp?
I do.
Yeah. She has a very like period piece face. Like she looks like she could only really film and stuff from like early 1800s and like back because that's the kind of face she has.
That's fine.
Whereas I think like my face, I just look like an iPad kid. Like I need to have a screen in my face.
I think the best example of a period face. No.
no period face. Yeah.
Is Keira Knightley. She looks. Do you guys know Keira Knightley?
Yeah, I'll pull up a
I've
photo.
heard that name. Yeah, I like
You
to
can
see
see.
it. Oh, her. Yeah.
Yeah, she
She
she's
does.
been in like Pride and Prejudice and all these movies, and you would not think she's from today. You'd think, okay, yeah, she looks like a beautiful like medieval woman, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think obviously I don't think her daily life, but it's like when like I think when she has the look of like a period like piece fake like person. It's very like it's like the Botox face, but it's not.
I think as she's older now, maybe she got
that's
stuff
true.
done.
I don't know,
But when she was younger, probably
yeah,
not.
I don't know. I think yeah.
Genetic Botox, crazy.
no, but that's the thing. It's like I think we've had the same like you have the period piece face in the same way that you have like iPad face or people like the whole like Spotify thing. No, because I've already talked about this so many times. It's like I have iPad face and I'm so okay with that because I need to accept it. It's like yeah, I do. Like
Is that really a thing, or is that just like a white people thing? Because I don't know if I.
Hey, I'm Asian.
Oh.
Yeah, don't say that to me. I'm Asian.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm half Indonesian, half Spanish.
Oh, Indonesian too.
Okay, we're gonna do this now. Where are you from then?
Hungry.
Well, there we go, guys. You know
Ah,
about us.
nice.
No, but like I think it's the same thing with like kids, for example. Like, you see the kids who like hold their iPad and it's like way too big for them. They're like they have iPad face. Like, and I think the same thing applies to like people like who are way into music. Like they like the aesthetic of like people. Like you have like grunge aesthetics and like
Yeah.
like Brunswick aesthetics and like Fitzroy aesthetics, like those kind of like vibes. But you have people who actually are like tailored to that style and that aesthetic, and they like embrace it because that's who they are.
Yeah.
And then you have people who are just like, I like cool music, so I'm gonna wear these fashion choices. It's like you don't have to look a certain way to like this music. Like, you can
Yeah.
just be yourself. Like it's
Those
okay.
show offs that listen to Blady and just just cringe like fake deep music.
Or like I think that's like, for example, like, do you guys know Two Hollis?
No.
No.
Okay, so he's kind of like, I don't know how to describe his music. It's very like electronic pop, very like doons doons doons, but he does like, but he sings, so it's really confusing.
Say the whole thing to say.
No, I'll show you. I think if I show you his face, you'll kind of understand what I mean by that. That being said, I really do like his music. I think he has some like bangers of songs. Like I'm like, yeah, like I like this. But I think my thing is that once I started listening to him, I was like,
Ooh.
yeah, you see, I mean, very like, it's not like, but it's not dark. It's very like, which is why it's like, why do you like, I don't know. But people like, he had a concert here back in February, and it was a lot of like teenagers and like early 20s and stuff like that, where they were all very dressed in this very grunge aesthetic. And it's like, maybe you are like, that's just who you are, and that's completely understandable. Like, I'm not gonna, like hate you for that. But it's like, is this like, are you putting on a show, or is this really how you feel? Do you guys know
But
what
I
mean?
think people do that for concerts, like
Mhm.
Sabrina Carpenter's
Yeah.
concert and Taylor Swift's Eras tour. Like people made this concert like a fashion show. Like
Mhm.
they had to dress up, and it was so fun. Like people would put on glittery
Yeah.
skirts or whatever the aesthetic is of the artist. I think that's like a tradition or something.
It's become very like, it's become a very new thing, I feel like,
Yeah.
because I think
and
back-
Pitbull with their bald caps.
yeah,
and suits.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's become a very big thing after like COVID, where people have just done that, which I think I admire it, because honestly I'm like, I couldn't do that. Like I could not go into a concert like dressed up as like,
Cosplay.
yeah, because it's like, that's not, I feel like that I'll just be like like being an imposter. Like I just don't, that's why I think sometimes I'll see people where they'll be like, yeah, I listen to like or okay, like the what's the word, like the toxic like man who's like, I listen to like the Smiths and like the Beatles, and like they're always like, and it's like these like 80s 90s like British bands, and then they're like, yeah, but like I'm different. It's like, no girl,
Like
you
no one
just
knows them.
No, exactly.
But everybody knows them.
You don't know the Smiths, bitch. Sorry. It actually pisses me off because I'll see it on like my For You page and I'm like, I just know you're doing this because you think it's what people want of you. It's like, just wear what you want. Like, it's really, and I think that's where like the intersection of like fashion and like music have really intertwined to the point where you can't have one without the other. And I think that goes hand in hand with like Spotify recaps or Apple recaps. It's like, if you're not, like, for example, if you had like Taylor Swift as your like number one artist, which, hey, she's not mine. But if you had it, people would be like, oh, like, you listen to Taylor Swift, like, your music taste is so bad.
That's the thing. People base off their opinions on people based on their music taste. Like, that's one of the first questions we have as an icebreaker when you meet someone, like, oh, what kind of music are you into? Or when you're on a date or something. And if they say something that you don't like, then you immediately get like, ugh, then maybe I don't want to date you. I don't want to be friends with you. Which is crazy, to be honest.
Do you think the same, Dylan, or are you kind of on the other end?
In what exactly?
Like, do you think, like, okay, let's say you were in that scenario, right? Like, you met us for the first time and you asked us what we said. And let's say, who's an artist you don't really, like, listen to, or, like, you don't really care about?
Me personally, I don't care about, like, Taylor Swift. I just...
Okay, so let's say, like, if both of ours were like, oh my God, we love Taylor Swift, like, that's our number one artist, which, you know, whatever.
I won't judge, but I feel like you two would be basic. I would just, makes sense. No, sorry. You don't, are you into...
I am.
But maybe have redeeming qualities, but you know,
oh my God.
sorry. There's no way someone would solely love Taylor Swift. They'd have like someone on the side.
Of course.
Yeah, then I'll judge them based on what they have on the side, not like solely on Taylor Swift.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's some tension in the room. No, I think I think that's like what we were saying is it's become so easy just to be like, you like this person, like why do you like this person? And I like, obviously I've done it before because everyone has, like, we're all human. But I think it's like I've hit that point where I'm like, dude, you can like whoever you want. Like, it really doesn't affect me. Like, I don't have to listen to your music.
Yeah.
If your takes are bad, then I just don't have to like you. But it has nothing to do with music taste. I feel like that's the one thing we're kind of lacking now. You know?
Like, let's change that question to, what are your morals?
Real.
Like that. Yeah, obviously we judge people and that's inevitable. We all have judged people. It's just, it's a human thing to do. But I don't think it's a deal breaker unless it's like your two artists have beef or something. Like one person likes Drake, the other one's Kendrick. I don't know.
Like,
maybe that's a deal breaker. I don't know.
You don't think it is?
I was gonna mention when you mentioned the beef. I was like, but Drake touches like.
Oh, okay.
No.
Let's not do that. No. Okay. Anyways, next one. No. But yeah, I think that was like, this sounds bad, and I don't want to blame it on COVID, but I feel like that was a very big like progressor of everything that's happened now, because I think after that everyone's like, okay, individual styles. Like, it's been 5 years since it happened, and now we're all still kind of coming off of it being like, yeah, like actually you're okay to be like this. And we've kind of become nicer, which is weird because it's been 5 years and we were all like bullying each other online, you know? Did you guys have that, like, when you guys went to online school, like, you kind of were just like a lot meaner than you usually were? Or is that just me? Okay.
I think that's just you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's because I talk to my friends about this a lot, and it's like, obviously because you're not seeing them every day and stuff, like, only way you can maintain the relationship is through like calling or texting or whatever. And like, me and my friends, like, we have a very like jokey relationship where we're just roasting each other half the time. So I think that's where kind of like I'm saying like,
but then that's not being mean unless you're deliberately bullying someone.
Hey, I do not do that. Let's make that. I do not bully people. But I think that's the thing. It's like I would see like Spotify raps and I'd be like, oh, like this girl likes this. Like, oh my God, or this guy likes this. And it was just like, I think it's just because I didn't have to face them and like understand the consequences of my like statements and actions that I was just like, guys, like, can you believe this? Like, oh my God. And it was like, okay, girl, like, you have bad music taste too. Like, shut up. It's fine. Like, you know, like, whatever.
Okay, maybe, I judge top 5 and someone has all the songs from Imagine Dragons. I'm like,
yeah, fair enough. Let's put that back there. No. I was gonna say something, but now I completely forgot.
What do you guys think about social media influencers becoming artists? Like how these
Addison
TikTokers
Rae.
are becoming singers now.
Like Addison Rae.
Yeah, and Dixie D'Amelio. Do you remember when she
Oh my
came
God,
out with
Be
her songs?
Happy.
Yeah.
Missed that. That was actually the best era of my life, guys. Like, no. Okay. You go.
Nah, I don't like the idea of influencers becoming like artists because they do it for the fame and not like they have a specific message. I don't feel like, it's just perpetuating that idea in like music culture that they're just following the mainstream formula to make a good song, and they just like get hits and stuff like that.
Yeah. They probably wouldn't be famous if they just started with 0 and then came out with a song.
Yeah.
The reason they are getting hits is because they have 20 million followers or whatever.
Mhm.
They want to get into music. I suggest get in there without using your name and then just like grow like as a musician.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I might have a hot
What's your
take with
take?
that.
What's your take? Come on.
I do agree with you guys, and I do completely think that's like, yeah, obviously people are doing it because they want to maintain their fame, and I think that's one thing. But I think you also have people on the other hand who have been like, you know what, like, I actually like I've always wanted to be a musician, and now that I have this fame, I'm gonna profit off this and utilize this. I think you can tell obviously what type of person who's doing that. You're like, okay, this is genuine and this isn't. Like,
Mm.
I'm not saying okay, like one person in my head I can think of right now is Addison Rae, so it's like bear
The
with me for a
Diet
second.
Pepsi or whatever.
Yeah, Diet Pepsi, and like Aquamarine. It's like I don't think there's any real message behind her music. Let's be real. Like the song is called Diet Pepsi. Like I think she just wants to like have sex with a guy in the back of her car. Like that's really all that's happening in the song.
Is that what Diet Pepsi means?
I think so. Yeah, when I drive in your car, I'm your baby, losing all my innocence in the backseat. Yeah. So
Oh.
sorry.
I like that you could just
just
read.
pulled it out of my head. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't think there's much basis to it. That being said, I think you can tell that she shifted completely away from her old persona, and that like that this is just not what she wants to do anymore. And I think that like smart of her to profit off her like fans. I completely understand. It's like, yeah, like you're using what you should be using. It's like you have all the resources to do that. But I do understand as well, like there is nothing to it yet. There's no substance that I don't think you can completely say like she is fully an artist. Because I don't think she is. I think she's still in that weird threshold where she's like an influencer, but she has music out. But like it's from what like remember I don't know what she had a couple songs. The first song that came out was like really bad. I remember this. It was the one.
But do they write their own songs? Because I think that kind of changes it. If she
Yeah.
writes it and she plays the instrument, then fair enough. But
Yeah.
if it's written for them
Yeah.
and it's just like a DJ does the music or, you know, whatever, then that's the DJs and the songwriters' art and not hers.
Completely agree. Let me see. I'm looking currently at Diet Pepsi. I mean, so her other song that she had was "To Die For." Have you heard that song?
No, I don't
No.
listen to Addison Rae.
Yeah, fair enough. I was just I don't blame you.
I've just heard it on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah. Let me see. Who wrote? Oh,
Ghostwriter.
it was her. She
Oh.
composed it. Addison Rae composed the song. And I think someone co-wrote it with her most likely because there was another name that showed up there. This is like we're really going to a deep dive of Addison Rae right now. Like
I
this is-
know.
Oh yeah, lyricist Addison Rae, Luca Klosser, and Elvira Anderfjord. So I think like that being said, she is writing a song about just like like having sex with some guy in the back of a car. So it's not like it's like breathtaking.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's like yeah, okay, good for you, girl. Like whatever.
You're not
But-
the only one. So.
Yeah, it's like good for you. But I think the other like person you could compare that to is like Olivia Rodrigo. Like she was a Disney Channel star, and now she's like a global pop sensation.
Yeah.
And I think like I agree with you guys. Like you need that substance, but I also think that like, hey, like if you're gonna be smart about it, like do it when you have fans at least.
Also, it's so interesting that Disney kids have had to kind of evolve into something like Miley Cyrus and all these people. Like they used to be these innocent Disney actors, and then they had to do something super crazy, like buzz their
Wrecking Ball,
hair,
yeah.
Wreck-It Ball, things like that, so that we now differentiate them from Miley Cyrus and High School Musical and whatever. To now these big artists, and Olivia Rodrigo kind of did that too, maybe a little more subtly, but now like I've seen videos of her concerts and they're quite sexual, or
She's definitely grown up,
and
like,
she's grown up, and
yeah.
it's some people don't like that because they were 12-year-olds watching High School Musical series or whatever she was on, and then now she's obviously not that person, but it's also like it's understandable because everyone associates them with the character that they're playing because we've seen them for years, and then it's like, oh, are you actually Miley Cyrus or Hannah Montana?
No, I completely agree. Do you think the same, Dylan, or?
I don't have anything to say on this, honestly. I do listen to Olivia Rodrigo though, but the only reason I listen to Olivia Rodrigo, at least Vampire, was because of that Weird Al song.
What?
I'm not into Weird Al, so this is
No.
like no.
Weird Al made like kind of he does like covers of like songs, parodies and stuff like that, and he made one of Vampire, and look it up. It's actually pretty funny, but I'm not gonna say more
Weird
into
Al
that.
Yankovic, bro. That
yeah.
man is. He was in Claro's music video. That's the last thing I saw of his.
Is he Australian?
No, he's like American, I think. He basically did like a lot of covers when he was like in his like 20s and 30s. Like obviously like not covers in like a they're good covers and like they're making fun of the person, blah blah blah. Like kind of like, do you remember Bart Baker?
Yeah.
It rings a
love
bell.
it.
Yeah, he's kind of like the old Bart Baker, but like not as politically incorrect.
Mm.
Sorry, that like I was like, wow, completely forgot about Bart Baker for a second. Miss him.
Do we miss
No.
him?
I miss it. Nah.
Such a freak. I was gonna ask you guys, dude. Like, I keep having questions in my head. I'm like, this is a great thing to ask, and then it completely slips my mind.
Write it down.
I do. I have them here, but I'm like, I don't want to talk about these ones. Like, these are boring questions.
What do you guys think about indie music?
What is indie?
Yeah. In today's world, what is indie?
I don't know, independent, just outside of like record companies, like major record companies, just, just small bands trying to do their thing.
I don't think they get enough attention.
Mm.
I think that obviously because they are independent artists, like it's very hard for them to get that attention. Where when you discover them, then they sign and then they become super big, you know. And I think that's where there's a lot of Australian like indie artists that have like Mallrat has been a really big one that I've heard a lot about, but I just haven't listened to because I'm not in the headspace to start listening to new music. I'm like, I can't do this yet. But I think it's that kind of thing. Like in indie artists, it's obviously because they're independent, it's hard to discover them because you just don't know where to look. Because you can't just search up like new indie upcoming artist in Melbourne. Like that's not gonna just
Yeah,
give
it's
you
not.
Yeah.
answers, you know?
I don't have enough knowledge on indie artists, I think. I also think I didn't even know what indie meant because people were doing the indie aesthetic and things during COVID, and I guess maybe that took away from the real indie.
It does, yeah.
So, yeah, I think a lot of people don't even know, who are not real indie fans, don't even really know what indie is.
Yeah.
I think, okay, what years, like in terms of like, 2025, like years, did you think were the most like constructive to your music taste? And like, cause for me personally, it was like 2020, 2021. Like I can look back and I'm like, I know that's where my music like completely shifted from being like radio music and like the nostalgic era of everything I like to then being like, this is music I like and this is who I am and this is what I'm gonna start doing. What about you guys?
2019, I think, like a bit before like COVID happened, I started getting into music, listened to old songs that my parents played on the radio, and then I started building a playlist. And I think when COVID hit, then it just like snowballed from there, listening to what algorithm just recommended based on what I listened to. And just, yeah, I think I got 2,600 songs on my playlist that I don't categorize at all.
That's so fair. What about you?
I don't know. I mean, I think it wasn't the year, it was more my age. Like once I became like 15-ish, I kind of started having my own music taste. Until then, it was mostly what my parents were listening to or what school was showing us. And then that's when I kind of found my artist. And then I also found like that group of friends that also shared the same kind of interests. I don't know.
How has it changed then since then for you guys? Like, have you completely jumped into like a new like genre, or are you guys still within the same genre? Like, how is that?
I don't think I stick to a genre. I don't stick to an artist. I just listen to songs. I see their titles, and I don't have more than 5 songs from the same artist.
Oh,
Yeah, just
Wow.
whatever, like anything, as
so
long
you
as I like
you
it.
don't care not like I don't even care as in like about the art, but like you don't like dive deep into the artist. So that means like you kind of just like you pick the few that you like and then you leave it as that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like most of the songs, I think 60% of my songs on my playlist are probably from artists that have less than 10,000 monthly listeners.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could not say the same for me. I like what's on the radio. No.
Yeah.
What about you, Anna?
I don't know. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Like, do you think the music that you started listening to when you were around like 15, 16 has stayed the same? Or do you think you've kind of like branched out or like you've developed a new like genre?
I think I definitely have found more and more artists that I'm listening to now, and maybe become more adventurous with it. But I still think I kind of stay the same. I also sometimes look into my old playlists, I re-listen, and then some songs I'm like, oof, I over-listened to that. I never want to hear that again. And then some of them I'm like, oh, let me just add that to my new playlist because that actually is still good.
Yeah.
A little less The Living Tombstone, please. Let's not.
No, but I think I think that's the most interesting part about you can learn about someone is like looking at their old music from what like they defined as their like initial music time. Because I look back to like mine, it was very like like the 2020 2021 like whole like indie thing on like TikTok where it was like Rex Orange County and like Claire like that was I was really into that to the point where like I like do you guys know the Peachtree Rascals?
Don't know.
They're like I don't know if they're necessarily they're not they're a pop group. But they were very much in the same realm of like Rex Orange County.
Oh, they made Mariposa.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I was like really into them, and like I've just rediscovered my love for them because I like was like, oh my god, yeah, this song, and it's stuff like this where like I'll have stuff that clicks from like when I was younger. Like I'll listen to like a Rex Orange County song, and it's like my heart will like it's like your soul like lifts. You know that photo of
Yeah.
like that soul. It's like that's literally how I feel when I listen to those music. I'm like, whoa, like this was a throwback to like some traumatic times. I'm like,
The same
don't
thing
do this.
happened to me with Rex Orange County. I used to be a huge Rex
Yeah.
Orange County fan in 2020. It wasn't like a huge obsession. Like my parents didn't know about it. I was just in my Spotify.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it just came up again. And now it's once again in my playlist.
Like you're like you remembered why you loved an artist so much, but then you're also like maybe like I don't know, like I've discovered like okay I didn't discover like I've gotten really into like do you guys know like McGee
No.
MK Doggy he's like a like indie isn't the right word but I don't know how else to describe he's like a pop R&B like he does different types of like music. I've like this like I realized like my new taste has shifted completely. But I've also become like had a lot less shame. Like I've listened to a lot of like the Glee cast recently because I've been rewatching
Love
Glee with my
that.
roommates. So we've been doing like a lot of the Glee covers. It's been like on rotation to the point where I'm like, I need to stop listening to this because it's kind of ruined my brain. Like I've really
Yeah, I'm a very big like musical fan and
Mm.
Disney. I'm a
So
Disney
fair.
adult. So sometimes my Spotify Wrapped comes up with like the second or third song is like from I don't know Princess and the Frog or Beauty and the Beast.
goated movies.
Yeah.
The two best movies of all time. So I love them. Do you? What about? Are you into musicals?
Not really. I've been told I should get into it, but I'm
Oh.
not into like the Disney musicals. Not anymore. I kind of felt like I don't want to say grow up. That's kind of mean, but
You grew out of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I
Not-
think no. That's the thing with nostalgia though. Is like
Yeah,
you
it's
grow,
nostalgia.
you
Mm.
like you remember it because you're like like Beauty and the Beast for example
Mm.
forever will be like one of my favorite movies of all
Mm.
time. I just can't watch it though because it like cringes me out so bad. I'm like it just makes me feel like I was a child again. I was like like I can't do this right now. But like I love it. I just cannot watch it.
For me, it's the opposite. For me, it's like I have to have a monthly or bi-monthly watch of it because it just makes me feel like a kid again and like back in the old good days.
The old days. It's like 10 years ago. Yeah, the old days.
You think that's what's happening right now? We feel like the industry has deteriorated, even though
Yeah.
the 2000 songs aren't actually good. It's just that we're nostalgic for it.
Oh,
and
100%. That was
Yeah.
that was gonna be one of my points later. Was like talking about like nostalgia specifically. Like I like what you said. I don't think music has gotten bad.
Mm.
I just think it lacks the nostalgic feeling that we had for it. But
Mm.
like I can't. If I think in like 10 years, if I heard "Hot to Go" by Chapel Roan, I wouldn't be like, "Oh my god, yeah, this banger." I would have been like, "Dude, like turn this song off. Like I'm so sick of it." It's not, like I'm not gonna be excited.
But we
Yeah.
won't know until 20 years from now, and then we just look back and like, no, those were the good old days.
Nah, I think I'm gonna like hold it against it because it's like
Mm.
I think about like Maroon 5 for example.
Oh my
I, like,
god, that
I-
just
yeah.
unlocked a memory.
I like
Shit.
don't listen to them at all anymore because it's like it's Maroon 5. I don't care. But I think back to like songs like "Payphone" or like "Animals," and I'm like,
Mm.
this is music.
Yes.
It's like,
It was on the This Is What I Call
exactly. That was what I
music
call
thing.
music. Yeah.
Like Payphone Animals Sugar.
Mm,
Oh my god,
sugar.
The,
Sugar.
the music
God.
video was so iconic with the
The
wedding stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
God.
also Move Like a Jagger.
Yeah, moves like Jagger. Yeah.
Banger.
So,
And Sugar made me and my friends want to start a cover band. Like we just, but I couldn't hit the high notes. So
so bad. But like that's what I'm saying. It's like the music wasn't all that great. Like Maroon 5 was like, yeah, they were good, but they weren't like spectacular. But it's
What
just,
are they
like,
doing now? Where is Maroon 5
I'm looking right now. I don't think they're making any more music. Yeah, I don't think they're making any more music.
Mm.
after the Adam Levine scandal, I thought he'd stop.
What
and-
was
Oh
the
yeah,
scandal?
he like
Yeah.
cheated on his wife.
yeah.
Like he started texting this woman. So we're getting like into so many different like paths today. But yeah, he was like texting this woman, and then they exposed him, and then I think he got divorced.
Crazy.
I mean, it's Adam Levine though. He low key was interesting. Oh, okay. They released something in 2021, but these are like remixes and stuff. So I don't think
Oh.
they're. Yeah, or like 2017 was the last one. Don't Want to Know, I think was the last one they released, and Girls Like You were the last ones they released. So it's very much like they haven't released stuff in a while.
But I feel like there's not really a demand for them to release. Like I haven't met anyone who's like, "Oh my god, I'm waiting for the Maroon 5 drop."
Yeah, it's like I'm happy with what we have. Or like
Yeah.
I think that's the same way I feel about Black Eyed Peas.
Oh my
like,
god.
They were so good. Obviously, okay, some songs haven't like aged the best. It's like, okay, maybe we shouldn't have had this lyric in there. Like, fair enough.
Mm.
But, like, they're so good. Like, I listen back and I'm like, whoa. Or like same
Was
thing.
Will I Am in Black Eyed
Yeah.
Peas? Yeah.
And like they did like, let me remember their songs. So it's like
What?
now I just blacked. I can.
Let's get it started.
Yeah, like that started.
That's such a good song.
Yeah,
yeah.
but then the original was
Was not them?
no, the original. They changed the lyric from "it started" to a slur for
Oh.
Yeah.
mentally ill people.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even. I'm so out
No,
of.
that's
No, you
what
should
I'm
be
saying.
glad. You should be
No,
glad.
It's good that you don't know. Or like they have like Pump It or Just Can't Get
Oh, yeah.
Enough. Where's the love? My humps.
My
I got a
heart.
feeling. Boom boom pow. Like
Yeah,
these
that's it.
songs, like I just don't feel the same about any of the music that's come out now. Like I don't have like I think maybe the only thing I have is like the 2020 era because I was just like in my room, so I was like I have nothing else better to do in my life. Might as well. But like nothing invokes something within me that's like the Black Eyed Peas invokes within me. Like I don't feel the same about it. Like I hear the Black Eyed Peas and I'm like it's like resurrection. I'm like I'm here. Like I'm awake.
What about Rihanna? Because there's demand for Rihanna to release new music, but she hasn't, and I don't think she will.
I don't think she.
And there was demand for Cardi, and he just
Yeah, and then Cardi
failed,
released something and everyone hated it.
failed to deliver. Man,
Yeah.
he had people hyped. Like he had people putting not hashtags. Let's not talk about that one. But people were talking about, you know what? Let's kill Cardi. His publishing company will release his songs if they do. The death
So
clause.
the lore with like Cardi was basically that like you know how he's like very into like the devil and stuff and like
I don't know
basically
anything.
he's just like he's basically just like crazy, but
Okay.
not like crazy in like a bad way. Crazy, just like he has a lot of thoughts that most of society just doesn't agree with.
Mm.
So obviously, and his fans are like very intense. Like a lot of Cardi fans are extremely intense because like so is he. So when like his new album released a couple weeks ago, everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's dropping!" Like, "Oh my god, he finally like releasing blah blah blah," and then it releases, and then everyone was like, "This is literally shit. Like, why did we wait so long for this?" So like, it's that weird thing where it's like everyone. It's like the same way that like when Drake released like Nokia, and everyone was like, "This song." Like, I hated Nokia when I first heard it, and I'm like, "Why is it kind of a banger? Like, why is it growing on me?" Unfortunately, like I kind of hate it.
I think TikTok has a big role in that.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
songs become annoying or popular because of TikTok.
Hmm.
Or like a lot of people hate it when they say, "Oh, I love this song," and then you're like, "Oh, is that the one from TikTok?" And they're like, "No."
It's like shut up. I discovered the song. Not
Yeah.
no, it's fair.
Yeah, that's why, man. I was like listening to the recommended like through Spotify, and then I got to this song and I used it for this post on Instagram. I was like, I hope this wasn't used by TikTok. Like went viral. My friend said, "Oh, it was," and I forgot what the song was. It went. I feel like the
No clue. Lost me here.
Looks familiar. I mean, sounds familiar.
Yeah, it looks. I can see it in my head.
yeah, someone will figure it out. So
No, that's fair. But yeah, no, I think the individuality has definitely taken over. But before we end, like I wanted to do a quick little thing where it's like, can you guys give us like your biggest throwback song, like word, like is there like a song that you're like you guys need to listen to this right now to remember this, or like a couple of them if you have.
like I love Lemon Tree. That's my song.
I will learn this.
When
song
did
now.
Lemon Tree come out?
Don't remember. Like
Who sings it?
look it up. The Fool's Garden. I think Fool's Garden. That's a band.
I can't type. Fool's Garden, Lemon Tree.
What's that?
It
Dancing
came
in the Moonlight.
out-
God, that's fire too.
Say Dancing in the Moonlight.
Yeah, I love that.
That song was the song that my high school like adopted.
That's such a
Lemon
cute
Tree came out in
song, yeah.
2009. Yeah, because like
Wait, is this the same person? Same people?
no,
No.
Fool's
Oh.
Garden is someone else. Top Loader is like the more common cover that everyone knows of Dancing in the Moonlight, but the other one original I forgot who sings it.
I like both, honestly.
I think Top Loaders is it kind of incites violence within me because like it's just like I'm like it was like one of those songs that like my school really abused because they were like everyone needs to know the song. It's like shut up. So, anyways, do you have any songs, Anna, that you're like
I think Maroon 5 Move Like Jagger.
so valid?
Like I was listening to that. I think that was honestly one of my top songs on my Spotify Wrapped back in the day.
So
Or,
good.
like when we used to have a family Spotify when I didn't have
Mhm.
my own yet. That was probably on the number one song because we just have it on.
So fair. I think mine is probably shouldn't be like Black Eyed Peas. Like any Black Eyed Peas songs,
Any?
like I like, yeah, like Resurrection's occurring. Like if you play a song around me, I will be screaming because something really hits in my head, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so before we end, like just like wrap up right now, any last comments, questions, queries, statements?
Oh, there's a song. There's this video that came out 5 years ago analyzing the song from Gorillaz by Feel Good Inc. And I think it would actually like talk a bit about how the industry today and the industry in the 60s, 70s are kind of similar, where we have companies like just manufacturing hit by hit, and it's just yeah, you guys should like listen, watch that. It's a
Yeah.
short video, yeah, by
Yeah.
Polyphonic.
Will do. All right. Well, thank you both Anna and Dylan for coming to the podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys
thanks.
can find us at sorry, I have to do all the promo stuff now. You guys can find us at Max Instagram at Monash Max, I believe. Might be wrong. We'll see. Also find us on like TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere pretty much. If you guys are interested in like being part of the podcast or like having another like topic you want to be a part of, we have our like sign up form as well as our interesting that comes out every Monday.